All right, well, hello, fantastic first graders. We made it to Friday of this week, which is so exciting. This is our last math lesson of the week, and we are going to be kind of switching our brains from doing a lot of that adding to focusing on some subtraction or takeaway or minus. Those are all words that maybe you hear when we are doing subtraction. But before we get started, let's take a look at our number corner activities. So we're going to look at our calendar. We are in the month of January. I said before it is Friday, January 8th, and our year is 2021 because we're in a new year since we're starting in January. And we have been working really hard at figuring out the missing numbers. And so some of them were equations. We would have 3 equations that we could work through, and then we'll have a word problem here and there. Today, we're going to be doing a word problem. It says, Maria had some pennies. Do we know how many pennies? Nope, she had some. Then she got 3 more. Now she has 8. How many did she start with? So we're trying to figure out how many she started with. So I'm going to go ahead and write this. It says that she had some pennies. So I'm going to put my line there for some. Then she got 3 more. So we're going to add those 3. And now she has 8. So I want you to think for a second. Blank plus 3 equals 8. Blank plus 3 equals 8. What are some strategies you could use to solve that problem? Blank plus 3 equals 8. Well, you could start with 3 and count on till you got to 8, because when we add, it doesn't matter if the 3 is first or second. Those numbers can be flipped. So you could say 3 plus blank equals 8. You could flip it like that. 3 plus blank equals 8. And count on to figure out that answer. Or you could use our fact family knowledge, and instead of adding, we could actually subtract. So we could say, well, 8 minus 3 equals blank. And that might help us figure out the answer. So what do you think our answer is? Using any of those 3 equations, what would our missing number be? 5. It would be 5. 5 plus 3 equals 8. 3 plus 5 equals 8. Or 8 minus 3 equals 5. Any of those would help us figure out our answer. Great work. All right, so let's take a look now at the number of days where we've been in school. So it looks like, let's count by tens and figure out how many days we were here yesterday. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Can we go to 90 yet? 81, 82, 83, 84 would be our next day. So we are at 84 days in school. And so I want you to think right now, how would we write 84? How would we write 84? Well, we said that there were 8 groups of 10. That means that makes up our 80. 8 groups of 10 equals 80. And then we have 4 in that other column, 84. That's how many days we have been in school. All right, so like I said, we're going to switch our brains to that subtraction so I can solve subtraction story problems. That is what we are working on today. You will know you are successful when you solve the story problems during this math lesson and in small group. So what I would like you to do is get your board and marker if you haven't brought it over already. So go ahead and pause me to grab that board and marker, or those who already have it, you can continue listening to the video. All right, so we're going to practice some of these. That's why you have your board and marker out. Let's practice some of these problems where we are going to be using our subtraction skills to solve the word problem. All right, I'm going to zoom in here so you guys can see this a little bit better. All right, here are Molly and Ollie, and they both love to dive in the icy cold water to catch fish and to eat those fish. So we're going to do some story problems about Molly and Ollie. And you might want to solve them on your number rack. So if you forgot to get that, you can go grab that. I'm going to kind of draw the pictures today, and I'll use the number rack during that small group time. So we have a story problem that says Molly caught 10 fish in the morning. How many fish did she catch? 10. She caught 10 fish in the morning. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw those 10 fish. And I'm putting it all on one line, kind of like what we would do for our number rack. We'd have all 10 of them on that top row. Molly caught 10 fish in the morning. She ate 6 of them. She was hungry. She ate 6 of them. So are we adding 6 or are we taking those 6 away? We're going to take those 6 away. So I'm going to go ahead and cross the ones off that she ate. So she ate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then it says, how many did she have left? Well, let's take a look at our picture. How many are still there? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So my picture shows that we started with 10. So I'm going to write 10 that we started with. She ate 6 of them. So that's going to be a takeaway, a minus, a subtraction sign. And she ate 6 of them. 10 minus 6. And then we have our equals. And how many did we say were still left? 4. So you should have a picture, be using your number rack to solve that. You pull 10 over and take the 6 away. And then we should have our equation, 10 minus 6 equals 4. All right, let's see our next problem here. Whoops. Okay. Ollie and Molly were having a fishing contest. Ollie caught 10 fish. Molly caught 7 fish. How many more fish does Molly need to catch to have the same number as Ollie? So this is a comparison one. We know how many one person has. That's kind of the top row of our number rack. We know how many the other person has, and we're comparing. Which ones have that match? Which ones are the same? And then which ones are different? How many more does one person have, or how many less does the other person have? In this case, we want to know how many so that they can be the same. How many do we have to catch up on? So again, you can use your number rack, and the top row can be for Ollie and the bottom row can be for Molly. I'm going to draw it out. So you can also draw it on your board. So it says, Ollie and Molly were having a fishing contest. Ollie caught 10 fish. So go ahead and draw on your board or do it on your number rack the 10 fish that Ollie caught. Then it says Molly caught 7. Molly caught 7. So on my bottom row of the number rack, or here in my picture, I'm going to do the 7. And I'm going to try to line them up because I'm going to compare them. And we've practiced this before where we had our two numbers. And remember, we put our finger or we drew a line right here where they stopped being the same. So the question says, how many more fish does Molly need to catch to have the same as Ollie? So how many more would she need to be the same as Ollie? Go ahead and think about that and put the answer on your board. How many more would she need to be the same as him? One, two, three. Let me see. Right, she would need 3 more to be the same as him. She would need 1 to match there, 1 to match there, and 1 to match there. She would need 3 more to equal the 10 that Ollie has. So you could have used a couple different strategies. Some of you might have said, well, she has 7. How many more would she need to make 10 like Ollie? And you figured out, well, I start at 7 and I count on 8, 9, 10. She needs 3 more. Some of you might have thought, well, if Ollie has 10 and Molly already has 7, she would need still 3 more. 10 minus 7 equals 3. Both of those strategies will work. You can add on or count on to see how many more she would need. You could subtract to see what the difference is between the two, because that's how much she would need, the difference. Or some of you might have already known the fact in your head, well, I know that 7 plus 3 equals 10, so it has to be 3. Those are all strategies that you might have used. All right. Here is our last one that we're going to practice together, and then we'll do some more practice in our small group. It says, Ollie caught 10 fish. He gave 5 of them to Molly. How many fish did he have left? So Ollie caught 10. So go ahead and either draw your 10 or put your 10 on your number rack. He caught 10 and he gave 5 of them to Molly. So if he's giving them to Molly, are we adding or subtracting? We're going to subtract the 5 that he gave to her. So on my picture, I'm going to take those 5 away, or you're going to slide them away on your number rack. So go ahead and write on your board what your answer is. 10 minus 5 equals. So your answer should be 5. Some of you knew that fact already in your head. It's that one of those doubles facts we've been practicing. You can look at the picture or your number rack to see that there are 5 left. He has 5 left. All right, so today during our small group time, you will need your board and marker, and let's bring your number rack to help with the subtraction problems, because we'll be using our number rack to kind of help us with taking away, but more importantly, to help us see when we have 2 different numbers and we're comparing them. That's where we all got a little bit stuck before we left for our virtual learning, is when we were comparing the 2 numbers. A lot of people were just adding the 2 together instead of actually looking and seeing, how many more does one person have than the other? Or how many less does one person have than the other? So I would like you to have your board and marker and your number rack to help you with subtraction. If you don't know where your number rack is, then we'll just draw a picture to help you. All right, I will see you later. Bye-bye.